think back about the foundation being the only game in town, and she'll know what I'm going to say, but not everybody, I think, in this room knows the story. Back when we were looking at, I guess it was before we started tearing down the mall, but it had been empty for a few years. And I phoned Chris one day, and this was, I guess I'd retired. I was
yeah,
retired. I think working for Larry Hines temporarily. I phoned Chris and said I'd like to have lunch with you. So she was kind enough to give me a lunch date. And,
no time for Peter.
And I took her out, and we were looking and talking about the mall, and I said, you know, somebody has to do something about this. And I said, the foundation's the only game in town. You know, you know, the Seal Power had left, and a number of the companies, quality stores. So I said, the foundation's the only game in town that can do anything about this. And I think at that time I had a scholarship fund, that was named. And I said, look, I mean, speaking for myself as having a fund here, take some of that money out, you know, and let's get something going with the foundation. I don't think you did, but I mean, I felt that strongly about it. Well, it's the old story, you know, you should keep your mouth shut, because about 3 months later, Larry Hines phoned, said, I want to have lunch with him. And I had worked, at that point, I spent a year and a half with Larry's company, but then done all the damage I was able to do. I left. So I thought maybe Larry was going to say, well, you know, come on back, we got something else for you to do. And that wasn't the case at all. Larry said, we'd like to have you on the board of the foundation. So that's how I got here. And then, you know, I was just a board member, but the foundation got things moving. And now
and 2 minutes before an annual meeting, Jim Sheridan said, hey, will you be vice chair?
I was at my table. I was at my table. And Jim, who was, I guess, retiring, was he retiring? Or,
yes, I think so.
Maybe he had 1 year to go, I can't remember. Anyway, he came over to the table and said, by the way, he said, your name's going to be put forward.
Thanks to him. That was a brilliant idea.
Yes.
It was too late. I think I'd already dirtied the napkin. I mean, I couldn't get out.
So here's also a toast to Peter. I won't repeat everything I said, but cheers. Thank you.
Peter.
You're very great.
Great.
Peter.